So I came back down here, and turns out there's not even any Atlas down here. I have to be...
Yeah, this is...
I have to be It's a Musketeer level.
Yep, this is floor 4, and she's flying solo. On the upside, we got some attacks for her slingshot, so she's a little bit more powerful,
but... Hello, King Prickly. I hear a creepy clown. There you are!
Ah!
I knew you were there.
And it's Sunday.
Alright.
The day that can never make up its mind if it's the last day of the week or the first day of the week.
There was a discussion. I listened to Star Talk Radio. And on their podcast, they had a discussion about how, you know, we have a leap year every 4 years.
Yeah.
But even then, that's not correct time-wise.
Yeah.
That there's a discussion of there being a... Not only do they add just another day to the calendar, that maybe that they're going to add to make up for some of the things that we've lost, that there's going to be... Every now and then there's talks of adding just another random day that's not a additional add-on to the calendar. It's just like, here's just a random day added. So
it's a bye day.
It's a bye day. You know how did you ever watch Doug?
Yeah.
They had that episode where they added a fun day to the calendar?
Yeah.
Like that. They would add just a random day that doesn't affect the calendar. Which, by the way, Doug, cool idea for an episode, but nobody else around the world would approve of that.
Not at all.
How would you get away with that, logistically speaking?
I mean, that is a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. That's everybody in that town. The economic structure of that town would just fall apart for that day, and you'd have to try to figure out what's going on and catch up.
I'd say we barely get through it on the one Christmas day that happens. So, but I have not heard of that. I remember in the mid 2000s there was well, I guess early 2000s, I should say. There was a thing with the world clock. In that, with all the leap years, the world clock actually got ahead of itself.
Yeah.
Just a bit. It was 1 second ahead. So they decided to let that 1 second pass and get it back on track. And I heard about this because it was actually during a sermon where the pastor was talking about there's one time you'll actually get some of your time back. Because there's that illustration like, I'll never get this time back.
Yeah.
Because you got 1 second back.
Woo! And
I thought that was so weird.
Since we're on the discussion of time, did you know, I guess it was a couple years ago, North Korea announced that they were making their own time zone and not worrying about what the rest of the world was doing.
I did not.
They have their own calendar and their own time zone. So declares their leader.
Okay, I know we all know that guy's insane, but does he have to make it so obvious?
Yes, he does.
Good grief. How do you make your own time zone?
They just decided we're going to be our own time zone, and they changed their clocks to a specific time period. Because they didn't want it to be different from everybody else. Now you know why all those people are running across the border and getting shot. Have you seen that recently in the news?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
I remember I saw a video of a North Korean girl talking at a college. I forget what country she was in, but she was talking about growing up in North Korea and just how different it is. And she was talking about, like, going to school. There were only certain things that they read.
Yeah.
Most of it being propaganda.
Yeah.
Talking about how wonderful Korea is and how masterful their leader is and all this. And I'm like, well, I kind of figured that. But then she goes into a bit more detail. She's like, we don't have movies unless they're propaganda. I did not know of things like Romeo and Juliet, or any of the classics, or a man named Einstein, or anything like this. And it kind of took me a second to kind of, like, understand the gravity of that statement. Of, like, how much of my life has been influenced by these very common things around the world, you know, like Einstein, like these stories. You know, something as simple as romantic comedies, you know, and the tropes and lessons that they show and teach. And that this girl had none of that until she got out. Mm-hmm. And just how, like, almost tidal wave it would be to discover these things after you know, so much, after a childhood of never knowing these things. Yeah, it was genuinely bizarre to think about.
Oh God!
So yeah, when people say that North Korea is insane, it's insane. Genuinely insane. And I'm just constantly amazed every time I hear something like the time zone thing of like, just are you in a race with yourself to see how crazy you can be?
Power, yeah. So
I'm at one point you have to ask yourself, like, are you just like trying to one up yourself?
Yes, they are. Oh, good, and they still need more attacks, so that's gonna.
Yeah, and it's very bizarre to think about it in that sense. Speaking of bizarre, I recently found out that someone that I met last year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give specifics. I'm just going to say that this man is a German teacher, as in he is of German descent and actually does teach German.
Okay. Where does he teach it at?
At a high school.
Like a nearby high school?
Not nearby.
Okay, because you know I took German in high school, and I had a guy teacher for the last half of the time I was there. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Well, I say this is bizarre because not that this man teaches German, but because this man has difficulty believing the Holocaust happened.
They're out there, man.
Which, at first I thought, when I first heard this, I thought it was a joke. Like, oh yeah, the German guy doesn't believe the Holocaust. But then I find out, no, he actually does have genuine difficulty believing that the Holocaust happened.
Well, there's groups out there that are that way.
Yeah, which I find totally mind-boggling.
Well, and you know, the whole movement still going on. The flat earthers thing still going on.
Yeah, that's still going on, which I want to know how you can live in this age of humanity and still think the world is flat.
Heck, I don't love up. That's just the way things are going, I guess. I don't know.
Like, I want to find you hear about stuff like that, you hear about people who genuinely believe the earth is flat, and you want to go to them and just be like, hey, how about walking to the edge and then letting me know?
Yeah.
Because we have the modes of transportation now.
Well, there's a guy who, you know, they do different things. You know, NASA put out a photo of what the eclipse would look like if the earth was flat.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
And it was just a line of shadow across the moon. They've done all sorts of things. I don't, you know.
But yeah, that I do not understand. I don't think I can understand how you can live in this age of humanity and think the earth is flat.
I don't know if it's a failure of the education or a failure of... Sometimes I think it may be just to be cool, you know?
Oh, the nonconformist route?
Nonconformist route, yeah.
I could see that, but other things, like... A part of me has to ask, like... I'm sorry, did your parents not hug you enough or something?
Or, again, they had this discussion on Star Talk, it could be just a... You're holding on to... You grab a hold of a fact, and you believe it to be the truth, even though that one fact is countered by 6 other facts. But because you got the one fact, you hold on to that one closer than the others, so you just use that one instead of the rest of them to try to, you know, and ignore everything else that's around you.
I can see
It's
that.
still wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong, but I can kind of see, as odd as this sounds, the logic of that conclusion. Of, I know this is to be true, I don't care what anything else says, I see this is true. Oh, speaking of seeing things that others apparently can't,
Yeah.
did you hear about what people found in their driveways in Charlotte on Christmas?
No.
This is amazing to me. So a bunch of people woke up Christmas morning to go outside and find flyers in their driveways from the KKK.
Well, that doesn't surprise me because they... What did they say on them is the question.
But here's what's amazing to me, is that... Again, this is going to sound totally contradictory, and I apologize. But these were the most well-thought-out flyers I have seen from a KKK group in a while. Because there were no images on it. Like, no symbols, no anything. Just letters, just words.
Huh.
No pictures. And, it basically said everything that you would want to hear from them.
What do you mean you would want to hear from them?
if you were doing a KKK recruitment drive, these were the things you would need to say to get people on your side.
Oh, okay.
Like, one of the things is like, we're not ashamed of our past, we acknowledge it. We embrace it. And it's like, okay. But then there's one line on it. There's one line that just made them liars. And I call it out on it. Because at one point it actually says, like, it says, white power, not racism. It's not about hate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, dude, you have now failed in your mission. You're just lying now.
God damn it!
Can there not be one thing that we need?
No! Everything's just stuff I can throw. Give me a Mage Slayer, or a Beast Killer, or a Diamond. I'd take a Diamond.
Yeah, you keep giving us gems, give us a diamond.
You don't even know what a Diamond does.
You told me what the diamond
I know.
does. So, haha.
I'm just angry. No, Flea! You almost killed me, Flea!
But yeah,
Eat some cheese.
I love that there was that moment of it's not hate. Like,
Yay!
Yeah, if you truly think that you are a member of the KKK and you don't hate something, one of 2 facts is not correct. Either you're not a member or you're not in the KKK.
It's the same thing.
No, you can be a member of a group,
Oh, okay.
but it not be the KKK.
I thought you were just referring
or
to the
you're
group.
not a member of the KKK. So,
Ugh. Go faster, boat! Oh, Jesus.
all right, cat girl.
Get to the exit.
I've already
got everything. Yeah, it was just
we already picked this well dry.
Yeah, that didn't have to go through all that trouble. I already had the stone.
It can't hurt though.
Yeah, well, I gotta get all the stuff anyway. So, alright.
Yeah.
So, next time when you come back, again, if there's important things that need to be done, you'll see it. Otherwise, we're back in the dungeon grinding along.
Yep.
Woo!
Till next time, everybody.
All right, we'll see you later. Bye.